The lesson.
Oh yeah.
Zulu Nation, which is originally where I first heard the name King XL. I guess for myself as well as the people listening, I mean, I heard of Zulu Nation probably not until the late 90s. And I have some sort of understanding as to what Zulu's all about. But it'd be great to get, your explanation first of all on what Zulu Nation is, what it stands for and what it's about, and then how you became involved.
Okay, well, first of all, my first introduction to Zulu Nation was through Renegades of Funk, the back of the record. I used to read the credits, Zulu Nation on there, and Beat Street, watching the credits once again, as it says at the end, is thanks to the almighty Zulu Nation to help make the film. So for me, it was about for us, collectively as old school heads, wanted to be down with the Zulu Nation because, these are all our peers. Africa Bambaataa, Soul Sonic Force, Jazzy J, Lisa Lee, all these people that we grew up listening to was Zulu Nation. And it was kind of like the cornerstone of hip hop culture. It's the foundation of hip hop culture. So we wanted to be a part of that because that made us feel, well, we're connected to the original hip hop, we wanted to soak ourselves so deep into this culture that to be affiliated with that, Zulu Nation was about helping others, living a selfless life. There are those that use Zulu Nation as a platform. For me personally, it was never about that. For me, being a Zulu was like, I really believed in helping others. I wanted to do this for the community. And all my mentors and peers were a part of that, and I wanted to be as close to that as family as I could. Family is important. It's the first founding family of hip hop, and to me that meant something, because it wasn't just like listen to a rock genre or other music. It was like this is a family. I wanted to be down with that family, and do what I could to help that family. And so for me, like I said, coming back from New York in '92. Heavily influenced. The whole mentality of Zulu Nation, helping your community, that's what it was about for me, and that's where I just started. That's the path I'm on, and I figured that's the main thing that we could do here is share the knowledge, help the youth, grow, develop ourselves, become better people of who we are. It's turn the negatives into positives. Peace, unity, love, having fun. But now, peace, unity, love, work and having fun, Put in the work too. That's what Zulu Nation stands for. Zulu, I'm a Zulu, peoples of the earth, heavens, And for me, this is ideal. So having that in mind, having a Zulu, and look, we never really put a chapter here in Australia because a lot of people, I felt, who's ready for that? We could do that, but people today, like when BAM came in 2005, 2004, 5, and he put a chapter here, I'm thinking, well, who's going to actually appreciate what this is? Even the youth coming up today, at that time, we're not really embracing groups as like organizations because everyone wants to be their own entrepreneur, their own, no, I don't answer to a boss, or, I do my thing. And I understand that because that's what the world we live in, See, in Australia, when we were like, looking at people to join Zulu, if I approached someone to join Zulu, I feel, you'd be really great. You've got a lot of things to offer and share with the community. The first reaction or first few questions in that they would ask would be, so what do I get from it? That's the general answer you would get from the youth today. But whereas, when I was in New York, I had a young brother come up to me in Harlem and go, Peace King, I really want to be down with Zulu Nation, but what can I offer? And that's the difference from those that don't have a lot in Harlem or the Bronx, etc., that want to give still to those that have everything, but what do I get? Because a lot of the youth here have been spoon-fed. You know, everything is there for them. They have nothing to fight and strive for as far as like achieving, you know, to be part of this culture. It's there. You know, the internet makes it perfect for them. Where the brothers over there, they're like, well, what can I offer? Because they've still got that mentality where they come from, and growing up, they don't have a lot. So that was one thing that was hard to recruit for Zulu here. You really wanted to, I didn't go out and push people to join Zulu. I approached them and felt, yeah, even without joining Zulu, you're still a Zulu because of what you're doing for the community. That's great. But I'm not going to force anyone to do anything they don't want to do, because this community is different to the community over there, you know, and every community is different. So for me, if they wanted to approach us, they come see us. That's no problem, you know. We're open door. The knowledge was there. Help yourself, you know. I'm not in it for myself. I'm in it for everybody. And that's the difference with Zulu. And so for us, Zulu really was a positive thing in the community. I mean, even when we did events and things like that for others, even the promoters were like surprised, what, you don't want this, you don't want that? No, we're here to help you. And it was very refreshing for a lot of promoters as well, you know, because they were kind of like taken aside. And you asked Dave Barrett at Laundry, when we did the, even when Bambaataa came out with King Kamonzi on tour, we approached Dave Barrett at the Laundry, and he goes, what do you want? I said, don't want anything. We're here to offer you. What do you need? We've got all the people who help you. And that's very refreshing for a promoter, I'm sure. You know, they don't have to outlay all these bits and pieces. And that's how it is, should be, because as Zulus, we have to look after each other, you know. I mean, when Bambaataa came to Australia and New Zealand, I went on the tour off my own back. I paid for everything, flights, everything, just did the whole lot out of my own pocket, because I didn't want to cost anyone, be a burden to anybody, you know. Just I'm here to support Bam and Kamonzi and that, and as Zulu, you know. So.
And then, so how did you originally become initiated into Zulu?
Well, originally joined Zulu, was 92, New York at the MS, got my application, and then went from there. But then when they started, when Bam came to Australia here, and they started a chapter, they were told to get in touch with me. I got in touch with them. It was Farouz, Jumps' brother, Farouz and Lama Rock. And they first started the chapter in Melbourne.
Oh, wow.
Right? And they got in touch with me straight away. And I said, well, you know, Bam wants you to do it. It's your thing, you know. I'll come on, but I'm not, I just wanted to be in the back, helping out, you know. And then a few months later, you know, it was kind of like Farouz had some family issues and things, and approached me to if I could take up the reins. And reluctantly, I did. And yeah, that's where it went from there. I mean, I was more reluctant because the chapter was full of a lot of youth that I wasn't really associated with or known, and it was a real learning curve. But you know, I learned some lessons from that too. Yeah, so I reluctantly did it, and like being an MC back in the day, I reluctantly did it, you know, but I did it.
So then once you became, I guess, the leader of Zulu here,
yeah.
What were some of the things that you did, implemented, changes that occurred once, you know, you took that position?
Well, really, I think what we did, we used to hire a room in Melbourne, and every Sunday of every month I'd just pay out of my pocket to hire the room out. The Zulus would come for a meeting, and then I'd put on documentaries, things like that, anything to do with the hip-hop history, and have a screening, and they'd all come, and it cost nothing. And you know, little things like that, did little marketing things like the shirts and stuff, and just try to help where possible in the community. Then we did the speak out thing. We did a speak out thing where we did it at the Melbourne, one of the halls in Melbourne there, and we did the big panel with all the old school speakers and that, and it was a knowledge day. It was really good. Just tried to do what we could to share our history with the youth coming up. As I noted before, I felt it was important. Those were some of the changes, and then obviously each member was allocated a role to sort of like, you know, be involved in the community, to, you know, oh, we're going to get involved and do this b-boy event this week, and, you know, we just all networked pretty much and learn from each other, and just go out in the community and do what we did.
The lesson. 927. Oh yeah.